Welcome to the beginning of your Excel tutorial in class, Excel exercises. We're going to start off with a couple of basics, which is just to say we're going to get you familiarized with how to choose certain cells and how to enter in the easiest of functions within Excel. So the first thing that we want to practice is to select and highlight different areas. So as the first exercise, we're going to, on the Colors tab down over here, select the red cells. So literally you just take your mouse and click it in the upper left hand corner, and there are a couple of different ways to select the entire red area. The first way is just to hold down the left mouse key and then drag across the entire section. So go from the upper left hand corner down to the bottom right hand corner, all the while still holding down the left mouse button. Okay. The other way you can do it is to click on the upper left hand cell, hold down the shift key, and while you're still holding down the shift key, tab or right arrow to the right, and then down arrow down. So you literally just move your arrow keys, and pressing down that shift key will anchor that first cell that you've selected. Okay, so that's what we mean by the shift scroll key method. So you press down the shift key and then you arrow down to wherever you need to go. Same thing with the yellow cells, right? You can click and hold on the upper left hand corner and then drag back down, or you can press the shift key and arrow key to the right and then down for as long as you need. Okay, so that's how to select a area that is, I guess, touches, like all the cells touch each other and are adjacent to each other. But what if we want to select something like the blue cells, where it's just a bunch of scattered cells that don't touch each other? The way that you're going to have to do this is to click on one of the cells, press the control key, and holding down the control key, you select all the other cells. And notice that as I'm selecting each of these cells, the column in which they exist in become highlighted. So I'm going to continue selecting these cells, and now I can do whatever I want to these cells. Okay, so you can tell that they're all selected. So again, the way that you do that is on a PC, you select one of the cells, hold down the control key. I want to say for the Apple, it's the command key that looks like that little 4-leaf clover. And hold down those keys, and then you can change them however you need to change them. Okay, so the idea is with that control key, Microsoft is looking for you to select a separate section. So instead of like the shift key, where it just kind of sets an anchor point and expands from that anchor point, the control key is expecting you to release that left mouse button to go and select different areas. Okay, so for the green cells, it's a combination of, what we did with the red and control. So I let go of like either the mouse key or the shift key. I hit control and I select my new section, and now I can go ahead and do whatever else I want with that section. Okay, and then same thing with the orange is I select the orange, hit the control key, and then select my separate section, and again I can do whatever I need to do with those different sections. Okay, this function is very, being able to select in this way is very helpful if you're going to be formatting in different ways. Okay, a couple of other formulas, just very simple things that you should know how to do within Excel is how to type in a formula. All of our formulas are going to be dynamic. We are very rarely going to hard code anything within Excel. So realize that if you're going to be using a formula, you start off your formula with either an equal sign, so equals 4 plus 4, and gets you 8. Instead of starting off with an equal sign, you can also start off with a plus sign, so plus 4 also gets you 8. Okay? And if I want to make my model truly dynamic, I would have 4 plus 4, and I would go equals that plus that, right? Because that way I can change this to a 3, and I can change this number or any one of those numbers, and my formula automatically updates. For the consistency of this class, what you're going to find is input cells are going to be in blue, and calculation cells, the numbers are going to be in red. The reason why I choose these colors is if you print out in black and white, the blue and the red will both print black, so all the numbers will still look the same. You'll also notice that within Excel, my background is in gray. The reason why I have background in gray is because you can make notes to yourself in white, and they won't print out. Note to self. And so I can actually see the white lettering on the screen, but it won't print out because Microsoft won't print out white words. Okay, so there you go. And also notice that the colors change. If I click within a formula, the colors of the references will refer to colors highlighted around the cells in which they refer to. Okay, so formula-wise, we know we can start off with an equal sign, and we know that we can start off, with a plus sign, and I think Excel updates that. Yeah, Excel updates that for us. Okay, so plus sign is plus, minus is minus. An asterisk is multiply, and then a divide sign is that forward slash. Okay. A caret, let's do that, is exponent. Okay. Two other functions that you're going to see see and use a lot is equals sum, open parentheses, and then you select the cells that you want to do. So once you open up the parentheses, Excel just knows that you want to sum up everything within the parentheses. I'm not even going to bother with that closed parentheses. Excel's just going to assume that I'm done with my formula. So I can sum that way, or I can also equal sum and click on those two cells. Okay. There you go. And here, right, if you have this function turned on, Excel will tell you what format that formula needs to go into. So sum, open parentheses, number 1, comma, number 2, comma, number 3. Okay. The other formula that you're going to need is an average, equals average, and I'm just going to average those two numbers. Okay. I can also equals average this number, comma, this number. Okay. I can either list out each cell, or I can just select a range of cells. Okay. Another thing that is good to know within Excel is how to get Excel to count numbers. And the easiest way to do that is you start off with hard coding one number, and then you just equals +1. In which case I would make this number red, I would make this number blue, and then I would drag this formula down. Okay, so again, by dragging a formula, I wave my mouse to the bottom right-hand corner, so the cell goes from the cursor goes from a fat white cross to a thin black cross, and then when it's a thin black cross, I just click down on the mouse and drag. Okay, and that's how you get Excel to count. This is very useful for numbering years. Right, this becomes very useful for numbering years going across on a financial statement. Okay. Now, if I didn't have a number format on this, if I didn't have a color format on this, and I liked this color format, or this numbering format also, actually, let me go ahead and make that yellow. I'll just make that into comma with 2 decimal points. And if I liked this format, all I have to do is to copy that format, that little paintbrush right there on the clipboard, I'll click on that, and I'm going to paint that format onto these numbers. So notice that when I painted, once it was done with the selected format, it's going to repeat it over again. So I have blue, blue, red, black, black, black. I have blue, blue, red, black, 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 and it starts again with the blue, blue. Okay? So there you go. So I can paint the format. This becomes very useful when you have I'll just go here. When you have maybe one format here, and then you want to replicate the other format here, right? So I can just, if I like that format, I'll just paint that format exactly here, and you'll notice how the format has now changed. Well, I don't want that done permanently, so I'm going to undo the last action, which is Control Z. If I want to duplicate this column, Control C and Control V to paste. If I want to undo my action, Control Z to undo the action. And that's it. That's it for the basics.